Is that y'all? Is that really y'all out there? What's up, y'all? How's it going? I brought you some paintings tonight that are different. They're not landscapes. Tonight we have women from around the world. And they're kind of exaggerated, okay? So they're not like portrait style. They're like exaggerated features of women from around the world. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Rhonda. I have art on Instagram that you can see, which is at Rhonda Mills 67. And I have a Facebook page where y'all can go see cooking and kind of lighthearted videos. And that is on The Secret Creations. All right. Y'all want to see some paintings? Do you? Do you really? Okay. This is the first one of women from around the world. Dun, dun, dun. I'll zoom in for y'all. It's not foggy, it's her veil. There we go. Okay. And here is another one from women from around the world. And these are all from actual photographs that I probably found on Instagram. And then there's another one from women from around the world. I'll zoom in for you. How y'all doing tonight? Tell me what you think about the women from around the world. There's another one. I like freckles. She's got serious eyes and serious freckles. Look at those eyes. Okay. And then I have this one last one. She's a happy chick. And we'll zoom in for you. I did crazy stuff with her eyes, y'all. Crazy stuff. Now, y'all aren't my like Facebook people, but maybe some of you are. So here's what I want to do, like, not this weekend, but like sometime next week, maybe next weekend, I'm not sure. We'll see how the time goes. But I want to do a live painting for y'all where I'm here painting and you can help me add to it. So what I want to do is like an abstract painting. Here, I'll show you an example first. Okay, so this is a mermaid, okay? And she's coming up out of the water and like her tail is behind her and you're like looking down on her like an aerial view, right? Okay, so you see the mermaid. And see how there's stuff all the way around her. There's coral, there's all types of different little things and seashells and fish and stuff and glitter, and I like to do that, like layer it up. So I found a painting today when I was trying to find paintings to show y'all, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So we're gonna fix it. And like I said, I don't know when. I'll tell y'all when we get closer, so y'all can tune in live on Facebook, and we can take your suggestions. You can tell me to use like tinfoil or saran wrap or sticks from outside or like a straw or whatever, and we can add layers and layers of colors and do different stuff to it. And I'm going to show you real quick the one that we're going to fix, but just glance at it because it's the right now, okay? But we're going to fix it. Just that's a little glance about that's what we're going to fix, okay? Don't like that one. Okay, so I'm going to have to somehow get these stories organized because Facebook and YouTube, and they're all like mixing together, and I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't I tell that story already? And then I hate to tell a story and then turn around like, 5 minutes later and tell the exact same story. So I normally don't tell y'all the stories that I tell on Facebook. I tell y'all the stuff that I can't tell you on Facebook. Let me open a window. I'll be right back. Okay. I should put something behind me so it's mildly interesting in here, right? Let's see. Will that work? This is something to look at besides me. Okay. So, we were at Gumwrappers, right? That's where we left off. Gumwrappers, and I told y'all about all the yachts and the offers coming in and all of the different little dates and things I went on, and then the guy that kicked me off his boat because I gave him change for the 100. Remember that? Crazy person. I didn't look it up. Shoot. I should have looked it up, but I didn't have time today because math was kicking my butt today, y'all. And I brought y'all a problem, but it's on my phone, so I should have wrote it down. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Tomorrow there's a math problem that I'm going to ask y'all to do with me, and then at the end, I should be able to, it's like a magic trick. I should be able to give you the answer, even though y'all pick all of your own. We'll do it tomorrow when I write it down because I saved it on my phone, but if I try and pull that up now, I just don't think that's going to, I don't know what it would do. I don't want to risk it. Okay, so we were at Gumwrappers, and remember that I'm just going to go with Play-Dohs. Let's just call it Play-Dohs. So I danced at Gumwrappers for a little bit, probably wasn't that long, and Gus asked me if I wanted to go work at the other place. And I asked him about it, and he was like, he just really wanted me to go look at it and go check it out and all that stuff. Now, not that y'all would go to these places as an adult or anything ever, but I certainly had never been to anywhere like, I didn't even know any place like that existed, right? I'm 16, okay? I'm 16. I don't know. So he takes me over there, and when you walk in, it's like an open area, and there's a stage. So it's like the illusion, like of a topless bar or bottomless bar, or however you want to go. But it's like really dark, and there's couches, which is the different part, right? There's not the individual tables that there are at most other clubs. There's just lounge. Sorry, excuse me. There's like lounge areas, And then there's rooms, right? Like the jungle room and the glass room. And, there's these different themed rooms where you can take your guest, right? So it's kind of like that back room at the topless bar or the upstairs VIP lounge, right? Only it's a whole building that's like one large VIP lounge. Y'all know these cigarettes will not stay lit. Okay, so you kind of can freestyle once you're in there. Um, you can, use the stage if you want to dance. You can just float around and talk to people. You can drink, you can perform services, whatever you want to do. Now, just to get this out of the way in all of these things that we're talking about, performing services, if you will, is never something that I wanted to do, like to do. Uh, you know, if I was going to have to do anything, I'd rather dance than, do that. So, anytime that I was in that situation, I was always trying to get out of it anyway. I wouldn't say I was very good at it because I was not trying to make the money. I was trying to figure out how do we get out of here or how do we party instead or do something else, anything but this. You know what I mean? But still try and make enough money to live at the same time. So there's not anything at that club or at Gumwrappers that I can think of in particular that I should draw attention to or that y'all need to know. That was just a place that I worked for a little while. That place I was at, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 nights. I didn't have a ride to go all the way over to that part of town anyway. I wasn't staying by there. I wasn't, it wasn't my thing. I didn't want to go back. So, um, eventually, and I'm not sure how this happened. I can't tell you because I've tried to think about it, and like I said, I can't remember the sequence of events so much as I just remember certain events. At some point in time, I moved to Pompano, and there's a tiny little club there that I'm dancing at. It's almost like a neighborhood bar stuck a stage in. It's real small, um, and it doesn't pay very well because it's not ever really busy. It's not able to be really crowded because it's so small, and it's like not you're not ever gonna make like cat meow kind of money, right? So I didn't want to stay there long either. And I don't remember how I met this man. I just remember that I met this man. He was a little old man, and I don't remember if he was like an ex postman or something, but he didn't have a wife. I don't know if he was a widow, but he was definitely a senior, like, I don't know, 60, 65. It's hard to tell when you're a teenager, right? Everybody looks old. I don't know, they were old. Um, but he was really kind, and I stayed with him. Like, I didn't have to stay in a hotel. I lived with him for a while I was working at that club. It was a tiny little place, and I used to sleep. So it was like I slept on like a little twin bed next to a window, and he didn't sleep with me, and he never tried anything with me. He was just nice. He just let me stay there, and he would take me to breakfast, and just basic little old man stuff. But it was a safe place for me to stay, and I didn't have to do anything, so I was happy about it. I would just remember that he was nice. I would hope that if anybody was ever in that situation in the future, that they would run into a man like that. Um, let's see. I I don't remember what happened when I left Pompano, but I do know that before I left to come back home, which to end up that story, because I don't think I ever did, I came back the day of my birthday, the actual day of my birthday. And I think now, because I was trying to remember if it was 9 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night, I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning, because it was important to me, because it was after midnight, which meant like it was like officially, I was officially 17. So like I was afraid if I went back 2 days before I was 17, they'd stick me somewhere. So this way I was for sure they weren't going to be able to stick me somewhere. So I think that's what it was. But I mean, what a, you know, I just think God was watching me the whole time. And I grew up Catholic. So I was not like saved in any kind of way until I was 17, until I came back from all that stuff. But I still think that God, you know, was watching me the whole time, because when I think back on a lot of stuff and you see the news now and you see all these 48 hours and all these stories, it's like amazing that I ever survived all of it. Um, and that I was able to come back the day of my birthday. I think I ended up being gone. I don't know if it was 6 months or 9 months. It wasn't that long. Although when you're living that kind of life, it seems like years, right? Like a week feels like forever. A day feels like forever. Especially when you're always looking over your shoulder and you're like, have to be so careful about where you go or who's going to ask you questions. And that's what happened at Gumwrappers. I didn't tell y'all that part. So when I was at Gumwrappers, and I'd gone back and didn't want to work at that other place anymore, somebody was going to be coming through, some type of I don't know if it was like a state inspector or somebody was going to be coming through. And he was like, I need to get that driver's license, because everybody always asks for the driver's license, and I always like, I lost it, like I don't know where it is. I had my driver's license. I wasn't going to give it to him. Um, so he just kept on me about that. He's like, I need to get that driver's license. I need to get that driver's license. And I'm like, well, I can't get you that driver's license. And then eventually he pulled me off to the side one day and he goes, kid, just tell me. He's like, you look kind of young to me. He's like, just let me know. And he's like, is it going to be okay when that inspector comes through? And I was like, no, I'll just leave. So I left, but I cannot remember for the life of me how in the world I got to Pompano. I mean, obviously I must have went with somebody. I certainly didn't walk there by myself, so I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I've been knocked out, and I fell off a skateboard when I was a kid, when I was like, it was right before we came down here, so I was probably 12. And when I fell off, I remember like getting in the fetal position, only I was laying on my back and I was spinning. Like, this was way before not way before break dancing, but right about when break dancing was about going to come out. I started spinning on my back. And then people said, like, because, I was playing with all my friends, everybody was around me. People said that when they tried to reach out to touch me or, see if I was okay, that I would, like, go after them. And I mean, I just remember bits and pieces, and I remember doing that spinning because it was so weird. And that was at my aunt and uncle's house, and they called my parents, and my parents walked up because we just lived a block away. They walked over and got me and walked me home, and that was it. I never went to a hospital or anything like that. I have no idea what might have happened to my head in that. I don't know if any of y'all are doctors out there. Can you tell me what in the world that was? Because I felt the skateboard slipped out and I went back and busted my head straight on the concrete. And then, because I'm sensitive to heat and I'm Catholic, when I was in catechism class, I passed out, like fell right out of the chair onto the floor and hit my head. And then there was times when we were waiting in line when I was a kid, like here they're called Six Flags, there they were other types of parks. And I can remember twice waiting in line for a park and passing out. One time my mother was right there. So There's no telling how many times my head has been hit and I don't know. But I'm doing all right in college, so it's not too bad, right? I mean, I managed somehow 37 years after school to get my GED while I was, during the pandemic, not having any idea about anything or really how to use a computer. I mean, I know how to use Facebook and do a Gmail and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know how to use a computer, like all the little tricks and the, Control C, Control V. I mean, I just started learning all that kind of stuff. So it was rather challenging, but I did it. And then with all the anxiety, y'all, before I have to take a test, especially a math test, I might have to go to the bathroom 10 times before I take that test. I mean, it's like, oh God, I better go to the bathroom one more time. Oh God, I better go to the bathroom one more time. I mean, I get so anxious and then I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. And then they proctor you, and you have to be sitting there and then they have to look around your room and it's such a invasion of privacy, especially for me because I'm such a private person. Like, my God. And then they're sitting there staring at you the whole time. And y'all know how I hate that. I can't see y'all, but I know there's somebody on the other side. And they could be anywhere in the world just sitting there looking at me. Who knows? I mean, it creeps me out. I hate being proctored. God, I wish they'd figure out a way around that. But anyway, so that was my story about gum wrappers and Play-Dohs. And I don't remember what that name of the club was in Pompano that I danced at. I just have no idea. But that should kind of wind up a bunch of little things for y'all so we could maybe move on to another subject. Oh, wait. Okay, so here's what the next story is going to be about. The one more thing that I have to tell you that's very important before we leave Florida is the Jimmy Hoffa story. I will tell you that tomorrow, okay? I'll tell you all that tomorrow, I promise. All right. Y'all have a really good night. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit it. Let's go. Hit the subscribe button. Please. Okay. See y'all tomorrow.